Welcome, class. This is Coach Nelson. We're going to talk today about a little bit about statistics today. We're going to round out the last 6 weeks actually talking about statistics. So if sounds good, let me know. Um, so go ahead and get started. You should, in the comments, I have left a Google Doc. Go ahead, if you can, print it off. If you can't, just write it down. Everything you see, we'll go over step by step. Okay? So first, we're going to talk about the mean. We're going to give you definitions of what the definitions of these terms are. So first, we're going to talk about the mean. So mean is the average of the values, and that the mean is equal to sum divided by number of values. So I'm going to talk real quick. Obviously, it's going to be YouTube. You can easily push pause. It might be a 10-minute video, 15-minute video, but it should draw out to be about 30 minutes. So again, I'm going to repeat each term twice and go ahead and um, you can pause it at your own leisure. All right. So mean is the average of the values, and that is the mean is equal to, and that's the sum of all the terms divided by the number of values. Number how many we have. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're trying to find the mean of it. We would add 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all together. That would give us sorry, cut out there. That would give us 15, and then we would take 15 divided by 5, which in that would give us 3. Sorry. All right. Second term is the median, and that's the middle value. That's some must be in small to large order, so that's when we rearrange it, and it's the middle value. The value that is directly in the middle. All right. Sometimes it'll equal the mean. Sometimes it won't. All right. It's definitely possible that it cannot equal uh, the mean. That happens all the time. So a median is the middle value. Must be ranged from small to large order. Next one is the mode. That's the most occurring value or values. So if I had 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the mode there would be 1 because it happens twice. So the mode is the most occurring values. Lower extreme, that's going to be the smallest value. Obviously, your min. That's the lower extreme, your smallest value. The upper extreme is the largest value, what we call the max. All right. We also call that the max. That's the upper extreme, the max, the largest value. Next, we have the lower quartile. That's the median of the lower half of Q1 of quarter one. That's the lower quartile, the median of the lower half of Q1. Next, we have the upper quartile, the median of upper half Q3. That's the median of the upper half. That's in Q3. Next, we have the range. That's going to be the max minus the min. So we wanted the range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minus 4. 5 minus 1 equals 4. Pretty simple. In the quartile range, that's just going to be our upper quartile subtracted by our small q quartile, Q3 minus Q1. And again, we'll talk about that all the time. All right, so I'm going to talk really fast here. We're going to go through this worksheet that I sent to you guys. Again, this will be one of the 2 assignments for this week. You can turn in everything I'm saying and then just fill out the blanks. Just handwrite them out and then send a picture of it and send it to me. Or you can wait till Thursday afternoon when that will drop. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I think it's easier just to send this one in. Make sure you're doing both sets though, for your sake, so you can do the test. in week 3 and week 5. All right, so first sheet, it should say mean, median, mode, all that. If you don't have a printer at home, go ahead and just write these terms down, send it to me, see full grade, no big deal. All right, so mean is the average of the value, the average of the values, okay? So if you need to write that down, go ahead and push pause. Average of the values. So let's say we have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So add those up, you'll get 15, and divide those by. And so how we determine the mean is the sum divided by the number of values. So we would add those 5 up, give us 15, and divide that by 5 because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. And so that would equal, that would equal 3. And that would be our mean for that. All right. The median is the middle value. Again, when we get these numbers, we want to range them from lowest to large order, numerical order. So again, let's just use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so the middle value would be, since it's a numerical order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'd take the third number, which is 3. All right. Say if we had 6 numbers, let's just say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So we would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. We would take both the third and the fourth and add them together, which will give us 14. And we want to divide that number by 2 because this is a 2. And so that's only when we have an even number and we're trying to find the median. So we're going to take the middle 2 numbers. And so we add those up to 14, divide by 2, which gives us 7. And that would be our median in that. Okay? The mode is the most occurring value. So if we had 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the mode would be those 2 ones. So the answer would be just 1 for that. Again, that is the most occurring value. Lower extreme, that's the smallest value. We also call that the minimum. All right, lower extreme, the smallest value. We also call that the minimum. The upper extreme, that's your largest value or your maximum. Largest value, upper extreme is the largest value, and that's your maximum. Lower quartile, again, that's going to be the median of the lower half. We label that Q1. So let's say, let's do it like this, make it easier on us. We have the numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. We would divide this in half, so we'll go right between these. And so the median of the lower half would be here, and then we'll label this the Q1. And then we have the upper quartile. And so that's the median of the upper half. The median of the upper half, again, we say this, and that'd be 10. And we label this Q3. Okay, Q3. Okay, so this right here is the lower extreme. This one here is the upper extreme. All right. Another term that you need to know is the range. That's the max versus the min. All right, so that's our upper extreme versus our lower extreme. So if we had, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. we would just take our upper extreme, which is 5, minus 1, and then we have a range of 4. And then our quartile range in 2 is here. So our quartile range, let's take those numbers again that we had earlier. Sorry, stylus, give them a little bit of time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, divide in half. That would be 10 minus 4, which gives us 6. Again, quartile range is Q3 minus Q1. All right. So let's go ahead and start an example. Given the data set 4, 10, 10, 14, 4, 25, 15, 22, 16, and 10. Find each value. So we're going to go ahead and list those numbers in order. So go ahead and start with 4, 4, 10, 10, 10, 14, 15, 16, 22, and 25. All right. Sorry for that with the stylist. Again, we're going to have a little trouble. We're going to try to work our way through it. All right. So again, we want to take, first thing we need to find is the mean. That's the average of it. So we want to take all these values and then add them up. So we would get 130. And we add all those numbers up. Divide by the number of values, which is 10. And so that gives us a mean of 13. Okay, so that's our average. The middle value. All right. So we have 10 numbers here. So if we had 9 numbers, we would just take the 5th number that's up in numerical order. But since we have 10, we're going to take the 5th, which is this one, which is this 10, and the 6th, which is that 14. We're going to add those up. 24 divided by 2, which just gives us a median of 12. All right. The mode is the number that occurs most often. And so, as we can see here, 10 occurs 3 times. No other number repeats other than 4. So the answer would be 10. The mode would be 10. All right. Let's go ahead and clear this off and rewrite this. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 10, 10, 10, 14, 15, 16, 22, and 25. All right. So now we're going to be looking at the lower extreme and the upper extreme. Again, this is easy when you sort it in order. The lower extreme would be this 4, and the upper extreme would be this 25. So lower extreme would be 4, upper extreme would be 25. Lower quartile. Let's see, lower quartile. Again, we want to split this up in between. So we want to split it between the 5th and 6th because we have 10. So that's where we split it. That's where we have a natural split. Lower quartile, again, will be since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side, it would be the 3rd number here. So that would be 10. That would be our Q1. And 14, 15, 16, 22, and 23. We take the 3rd number, and this would be our Q3, or our upper quartile. Again, those terms are interchangeable. The range, we take the extreme upper extreme minus low extreme, so that would be 25 minus 4, which gives us 21. The range would be 21 at that point. And then the quartile range would be 16, which is our Q3, minus 10, which gives us 6. And that would be our quartile range. Again, if you need to rewind, pause, whatever you need to do on YouTube, feel free. All right, next one, the box and whisker plots. So we have the normal line there, as you see a normal line, then we have two plots. The top one is labeled A, and the top bottom plot is labeled B. All right, so make sure when we're asking, it shows what it is, okay? I would draw it up. I did draw it up earlier. It just looks so sloppy on here, so go ahead and follow along with me in your paper. All right, if you need to draw it on your own, feel free to. This is where you want to pause and draw it on your own. All right, so find the median of each set. So again, the median, that's the middle value. They all range from 40 to 70, and so the median of each set, of course, would be 70. Which plot has the lesser range? As you can see, plot A ranges from 50 to 100. Plot B ranges from 40 to 100. So that means that plot A would have a lesser range. All right. As you can tell, so kind of things we need to look at. So from top A, so let's look at plot A for example. Our minimum extreme is 50, and our Q1 would be, our Q1 or our lower quartile would be 65. Okay, so that's, and so when we're doing that, 25% of the numbers would be from that right there, from between those two numbers of 50 and 65. From 65 to 70, 25% of the numbers would fall into that category. And so that would leave us the median with 70 to 80 as they plotted it out, which is Q3, from median to Q3, so that's 25% of it. And from Q3 to max, that's another 25%. So that middle box will always be 50% each, and so it's divided in the middle with the median. So let me kind of crudely draw it. I'm going to try to explain this via stylus, but it might not work. So we have something like this. And so this is 25%. This is Q1. This is the median Q3. And this is the max. This is the min over here. And so 25% is here, 25% is here, 25% is here, 25% is in here. So all the numbers, 25% of numbers are from here to here. Q1 from median, 25% of numbers here, so on and so forth. All right. So that's how we would kind of do it. That's how we would learn that. So median, they're both on 70. So that is problem 1. Problem 2. Answer 2 would be A, has a lesser range because it ranges from 50 to 100. 40 to 100 is the range on B. Which plot has a greater quadrilateral range? And that would be B. Because the so from interquadrilateral range is Q3 minus Q1. And so that's 80 minus 65, which gives us 15 there for the top of QA. And the range from plot B would be 85 minus 60. Again, between these two boxes here. And that would be plot B. So the answer, which plot has a greater quadrilateral range? B. All right. Give the upper quadrilateral of each set. Sorry. Give the upper quadrilateral of each set. So again, so we want to take the median of the upper half. So what's pretty much asking what's the Q3 of each set. So they labeled that easy, pretty for us to see. So for A, it would be 80. And for B, it would be 85. What's the lower extreme for each set? All right, so that's just what's the minimum number. Again, minimum and lower extreme, they are interchangeable. So understand that. Make sure you have that in your notes. So the min or the lower extreme for plot A is 50, and for plot B it is 40. What percentage of data in plot B is between 60 and 85? So we would look at plot B, and look between the answers of 60 and 85. 25 plus 25%, that gives us 50%. So that would be 50%. What percentage of data in plot A is greater than 80? So we look at plot A, 80 from 100. That's, again, that number would be 25% because it's anything after Q3. What percentage of data in plot B is less than 85%? So again, that's where the Q3 starts. Everything below that. So that'd be, you could do a couple of ways. You can add 25 plus 25 plus 25. Not a big deal. That gives 75. Or understand that Q3, anything below Q3 would be exactly below Q3 would be 75%. So the answer would be 75%. All right. Next page, stem and leaf. So we have test scores here. I'm going to kind of crudely label 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 2, 4, 6, and 8. 1, 5, and 8. 2, 4, 4, 4. 5 and 7. 2, 3, and 3. 0, 2, 5, and 6. And notice at the bottom it says, so they gave us an example like this. That just equals 72%. So pretty simple here. What are the highest and lowest scores? Again, these can be labeled extreme, but they didn't do that. So we want to take the lowest score. We would go to 5 and 2. That would give us a score of 52. That would be the lowest. And 9 and 6. That gives the highest score of 96. So 96 and 52 is your answer there. What test score occurred most often? Again, kind of put in your head that that means the mode. And so that would be 74 because it appears 3 times. In which 10-point interval did most students score? As you can see there, 70s had 6 scores in there. So your correct answer would be the 70s. How many students scored 70 or better? So we'll take the scores of starting with 70, add those up. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we had these 6 plus these 3 plus these 4, which is going to score 13. And how many students scored less than 70? Again, that's going to be 50s and 60s. 4 plus 3 equals 7. All right. Next example. Again, like I said, I'm going pretty fast. You guys push pause whenever you need it. And I'm going to crudely abbreviate. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 for the 60s. 8, 8, 4, 9, 4, 0. Alright, so I have these written down. So the morning might be a little confusing to you, but everything's going to be 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay? So this is going to be 50s, this is going to be 60s, this is going to be 70s, this is going to be 80s. So if we have something in the morning that has, sorry, trying to get the stylus to work with me, 0, 8, that would be 80 for the mornings only. Okay? Afternoons still same like we learned earlier. Alright, so what is the highest morning humidity? That would be 89. Again, we want to take this 8 and this 9, and since it's the morning and this is always staying the same, it will be 89, not 98. So the correct answer will be 89. What's the lowest afternoon humidity? So we look in the afternoons. We have 50 and 1. Again, these stay the same like always. This will be 51. Does humidity tend to be higher in the morning or afternoon? Your correct answer, of course, would be the mornings. All right. I'm going to keep this up. I'm not going to draw those graphs. Go ahead and look at those histograms with me. The data in histogram below represents scores on an algebra test. As you can see, there's 50 to 60, 70, 61, 71, so on and so forth. On the bottom, those are the scores. And on the left side, those are the number of students. Okay, and remember it goes by 2 increments of 2. Make sure to catch that. So how many total students took the test? We're going to go ahead and write these down. All right. So students took the test. We're going to have 2 students scored here in the 51 to 60 range, plus 5 who scored in 60 to 70 range, plus 8, plus 12, plus 6. All right. So we add all those numbers up together. That would give us a number of 33. So that will be the total students. How many students, question B, how many students scored at least a 71 on the test? We're just going to take this one, and this one, add those up, and that would give us the answer of 26, okay, because those are scores 71 through 100. And can you determine the highest grade from the histogram? And we can't, because we know that 6 students scored 91 through 100, but we could have had 6 scores of 91, we could have had 6 scores of 100. Any way, fashion you want to do there. So we don't know what the high score was, so the answer would be no. for that. All right. And then sheet 12, group 12. The data in the histogram below represents the revenue of the top 25 movies in a recent year. All right. And so we can see the chart there. And we'll go ahead and write down the numbers of how many is in there. So we have 4 plus 10 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2. Alright, so we have those numbers up, and so we kind of look and go along. How many movies grossed at least 171 million? Alright, so we'll look at everything from here out. So we have 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 12, or excuse me, plus 10 is 12. Plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So the answer would be 12. How many movies grossed between 61 million and 180 million? Again, that's going to be from here over. So we have 4 plus 10 plus 5. That gives a total of 19. And question C, can you determine how many movies grossed between 121 and 140 million from this histogram? So we look at their charts. So we have 110 to 140, and we have 141 to 180. Again, kind of like the last one, we don't know what those numbers are. We don't know if this movie grossed 130 million, 110 million, stuff like that. So the answer to that question would be, to C, would be no. Well, thanks again for listening. Appreciate you guys. Please email me, contact me with any questions, concerns, comments. Hopefully, it sounds great. Hopefully, this was insightful. If you have trouble loading PDF or anything, again, contact me. This is Coach Nelson, reminding you, stay home, stay safe.